General NYPD Commissioner Tish to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Tomorrow, Times Square will begin to welcome more than 1 million visitors from around the world as we say goodbye to 2025 and we usher in 2026. New Year's Eve in Times Square is one of the largest and the most complex public safety operations anywhere in the world, and one the NYPD has secured successfully for decades. For the past year, we've been working closely with the Times Square Alliance and our partners across city, state, and federal government. At this time, there are no known specific credible threats to the New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square. As always, the men and women of the NYPD will be out there keeping everyone safe. The public should expect to see thousands of NYPD officers deployed throughout Times Square and the surrounding area. That includes officers from our specialized units, including Emergency Service Unit, K-9, the Bomb Squad, heavy weapons teams, and our harbor teams. Our helicopters and our drones will also be deployed during the day to provide comprehensive coverage in real time. We will also deploy dedicated pickpocket teams, hotel response teams, and additional uniformed patrols to address quality of life and public safety concerns. There will be assets that you will see and others that you will not see. The Joint Operations Center will be fully activated with all of our city, state, and federal partners, and personnel there will be actively monitoring fixed and mobile cameras. Intelligence teams will also be monitoring social media for potential threats, and response units will be deployed citywide to investigate any reports in real time. Street closures will begin early tomorrow morning and will expand throughout the day. Beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow, 7th Avenue will close to vehicular traffic between 42nd and 48th Streets, along with side streets between 43rd and 48th Streets from 6th to 8th Avenues. At approximately 11 a.m., 7th Avenue and Broadway will close to vehicular traffic from 38th to 59th Streets. By approximately 4 p.m., 6th and 8th Avenues within the event area will close to both pedestrian and vehicle traffic, with pedestrian crossings at 41st, 44th, 47th, 50th, 54th, and 57th Streets. We strongly encourage anyone traveling to Manhattan to use public transportation tomorrow. Concrete barriers and blocker vehicles and frozen safety lanes will be established to protect the perimeter of the area. Manholes, mailboxes, and trash receptacles within the frozen zone will be either secured or removed. Viewing areas will officially open at 3 p.m. with pedestrian entry points at 45th, 49th, 52nd and 56th Streets from both 6th and 8th Avenues, and will close street by street as those pens reach capacity. Spectators should expect to be screened by counterterrorism officers at these access points, and once inside a viewing area, there will be no re-entry and they may be subject to rescreening. Spectators staying at hotels within the secured area will be required to remain within their assigned viewing pens. Certain items will not be permitted in viewing areas, including backpacks, large bags, large coolers, picnic blankets, chairs, alcohol, drones, laser pens, umbrellas, and any other large items that can obstruct a spectator's view. On behalf of the men and women of the New York City Police Department, I want to thank our partners at the Times Square Alliance, along with our colleagues across city, state, and federal agencies for their continued collaboration. And most importantly, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD who will be working through the night to ensure that this celebration remains safe. We look forward to another secure and successful New Year's Eve in Times Square. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Finally, I want to introduce a great partner and friend of our administration over the last 4 years, the man who ensures an average of 80 million visitors can enjoy Times Square every year, and that millions around the globe can enjoy the ball drop on television, the president of the Times Square Alliance, Tom Harris.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor, Commissioner Tish, Mayor Adams. Tomorrow night, the world will turn to Times Square, and there is no one who can do an event better than the men and women of the New York City Police Department who work tirelessly throughout the year to keep Times Square safe. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mayor Adams. 4 years ago, when the mayor took office, crime was 20% higher than it is today. There's a 20% reduction in crime. 250 plus new businesses have opened up. All 13 of our unlicensed weed stores have been closed down by this administration. People are moving to Times Square. They actually want to live here thanks to the city that he has created. The hotels are doing great. Broadway has never been better. And people listened to him and spent money. Visa spending has never been higher. So thank you very much, Mayor Adams. For New Year's, as we look forward to the future, we know that our city is going to do great thanks to all of the folks who care so much, thanks to the legacy of Mayor Adams. Tomorrow night is going to be a great night in Times Square where the whole world will see how fantastic this city is. Thank you very much.
This event and New Year's, just wondering if there's anything you've seen for the ISIS plots constructed this year, or what you've seen globally that you're doing for this particular event to stop any sort of threat or attack.
Thank you. So, as the mayor mentioned, we've been existing in a heightened threat environment for the last 2.5 years, and each year our plan incorporates lessons learned from overseas, from events elsewhere. And this year you're going to have augmented personnel to fortify the perimeter around the event and to minimize crowding around access points and make sure that, as every year, this is a safe, happy, and healthy event.
How are you?
So I want to talk about the language, no credible threat, right? That's language that we adopted after 9/11. And it's been, over 20 years since then. Considering the lone wolf dynamic and whether or not if there was a credible threat, if the public would be alerted, can we talk about what weight that phrase carries now, if any, because of how the terrorist threat has really evolved since that language was adopted after 9/11?
Well, we saw, and I'm going to let the commissioner or the deputy commissioner speak, and you dropped your gloves. We saw several years ago, we had a lone wolf with a machete that attacked police officers, and I thought that the way the officers deployed, they maintained their postures on the locations where they were supposed to be, and at the same time, we got necessary personnel there to bring this person under control without additional injuries or loss of life. So we know there's a constant evolution without the known threats. We are well aware that we have to remain vigilant, and that's what these officers, they know what needs to be done. But Commissioner Rebecca, you want to?
Yeah. So we get threats and leads into our intelligence center all the time. And so what that phrase means is that we do not have right now any specific credible threats against Times Square New Year's Eve celebration this year.
And I guess the question was, I'm sorry.
How are you?
You're a technology guy. So you're a technology guy. So what technology is going to advance safety and security for this event?
Well, I think the commissioner alluded to some of it. Don't underestimate the power of drones. And this administration, we have really incorporated drones into our public safety apparatus on so many levels. But being able to police on the ground and in the sky is just an amazing contribution. And there's some other technology that, we just don't want to tip our hands. But we're using technology to keep New Yorkers safe. And I think it's going to continue to evolve.
Follow up. You started it all. You started your administration here.
Yes.
How does it feel to be back?
Great. You know, when I started it 4 years ago, no one knew of this woman named Dorothy Mae Adams that raised the mayor of the city of New York. And being able to hold my mother's picture up so the entire globe can see that mothers across the globe sacrifice so much. And so mommy is not the mayor, but she made a mayor. And so it feels good, full circle. And listen, it has been a blast. I'm looking forward to a single malt scotch and a cigar.
You talk about the specific numbers. Are there any addition this year in terms of police officers and all the?
Yeah. Our detail this year for the Times Square New Year's Eve celebration is bigger than last year's. And you're going to see more officers in two main places. First is at the access points to the event on 6th and 8th Avenue, so we can expedite entry or exit from the bow tie area. And the second is we are going to be doing secondary screening this year of people inside pens. So we will have mobile screening teams walking around the pens, and if we see anything that looks suspicious, we will have teams in place to do appropriate screening. That's a new addition this year as well. We never tell you the exact numbers, but rest assured, the entirety of the New York City Police Department is going to be working between December 31st and January 1st. This is the biggest event of the year.
On CBS News, can you give us some context for that additional screening? Has that additional screening been done in recent years? Why now?
No, the secondary screening is something that is net new this year, and it is based on, we study what goes on around the world, so it's based on what we've learned over the past year and what we've seen throughout the world in the terrorism space.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Commissioner,